Alright guys, well this just came up about 3 hours ago on the Cosmic Road YouTube channel. I just want to talk about it very quick. I'm not really sure what to make of it. I'll just kind of report what was said. Now, it was an AI dub, and the Buga sphere, if you're not familiar with that, well, you might want to get familiar with it. It's been in the UFO news community lately quite a bit. Some people think there's maybe nothing to it. It might be a hoax of some sort. But other people are more convincing in that it's not a hoax and that there is something to it. So it's a big thing. Too much to get into. And I just would highly recommend other people tell that story, especially from the UAP podcast, the Unidentified Alien podcast with Stephen Diener. He does a pretty good job of breaking that down. I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but a few podcasts ago, he brought on somebody who talked about that. And then he brought on Eric Burleson after that. And it was kind of conflicting information because the first guy, I guess he's some kind of film director or something when it comes to this topic. He spoke very highly of this thing being an anomaly or anomalous. You know, it's not from around here is kind of like what he's leaning at. And Eric Burleson, on the other hand, it's like he said a completely different story. And yet those two people were there, I think, at the same time. So I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, so they're talking about how this woman here is doing a Hindu chant, and it's activating it somehow and giving it some kind of a response. I'm not really sure. I forgot if he said like what kind of devices that they were using to measure the response by, but basically that made the sphere respond. So then he said that, or I should say that she said that she was like making some kind of a connection, like of a consciousness connection to it. And yeah, so that's some interesting stuff right there. Of course, you can just watch it yourself, but I just wanted to report this to you. Yeah, guys, the world is more than just stuff, and there is, some not good stuff behind false pagan religions. Check out the latest episode of Haunted Cosmos. I was going to do a standalone video just talking about that. I still have to listen to like the last half hour of it, but it's pretty good, guys. It kind of answers some questions that I've had myself that, as I talk about this on my Facebook, nobody seems to give a rip. But it was about remote viewing, and they get into some stuff about consciousness and things like that. And yeah, so they gave some good responses, I think. Not the full picture. I still have questions, but I'm so happy that someone finally kind of responded to it in a way that made sense to me, at least. So anyway, yeah, so the guy, I think his name is Jack, Cosmic Road guy here, he says that he tried to reach out to the guy who has the sphere and wanted to ask him, hey, does it respond to, or are you planning to test out Christian prayer, or this, that, or the other different religious type of things, or just test it out with other music too, like rock music. Does it respond to that? Is it just some kind of a music thing that it responds to? So yeah, they're gonna test that out. And oh yeah, the lady here, I guess she's well versed in Hindu stuff, and she kind of gave this story about 5,500 years ago, how that these spheres supposedly existed back then, and they're flying around, and she kind of gave a reason for it. Now, I'm not sure the AI dubbing is perfect. I was kind of confused a few times in what she was saying, but I just want to end off and play this last thing here. Hopefully it, translate, the sound can be heard. I'm just using a simple screen recorder, as you can see. So I'll play that, and if you can't hear anything, then I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to take a chance here and see if it works.
I believe that the sphere has the message that consciousness and science must be united now, because we are very far from spirituality. People in society are very respectful of everything. They are no longer afraid of or respectful of anything. That is why everyone does what they want. We have to lower our egos a bit. I believe that this is the message that the sphere has, and that it has already answered me. In other words, that is the message for me.
Okay, well, let me...
So yeah, again, that's not, like I say on this channel all the time, that's not an endorsement for Hinduism or anything. Even that Jack talks about, he talks about practicing Kundalini some years ago, and he was gifted with some kind of experience by a higher being. So obviously I'm not endorsing what is being talked about as if that's what we should follow or accept as truth or whatever, but I'm just reporting this is what's going on. You should be aware of this, because it all does connect to the UAP phenomenon, And I know when I say UAP, unidentified alien or anomalous phenomenon, because I say that twice. It's like saying DC Comics, Detective Comics, you know. But anyway, yeah, just wanted to share that. Just be aware, be advised of what's going on. Think biblically. Check out that episode of Haunted Cosmos. And yeah, if you have any thoughts, let me know what you think.